gotta believe in yourself. Who else gon' believe in you? Who else gon' believe in you? Who else gon' believe in you? You believe in yourself. Yeah.
Thanks everybody for tuning in to the Manny Hall Show. Once again, I have with me September. Say hi to him.
Hi, I'm trying not to look goofy. Hi.
Y'all, we about to really have an informing and insightful, encouraging, motivating interview. There's going to be a lot of great things that we can extrapolate out of this particular interview. Like I always say, for those that think you know the people that I'm interviewing, you really have no idea because September's followers, her fans, I don't know all that's about to be said in this interview. We're really about to be able to share her journey.
Just want to say I'm hella black, hella proud, black excellence.
For sure.
Yes, root for all black people this year.
Let's
go.
All right, y'all, Manny Hall Show, September.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Amazing.
So awkward.
No, you're good.
So much fun.
All right, please tell them people your name and what you do.
My name is September Shy. I am an artist / your new age free contracted art teacher / motivational painter.
I love it.
Yes, that's me.
It.
Yes.
Was that your real last name, Shy?
Yes.
That's dope.
And what you see is not shy. I'm just kind of a dweeb and a little awkward. So yeah.
Nah, you good.
Yeah, it's good.
So please tell us when you got started and why you got started on your journey as an artist.
Well, it's my art is kind of a byproduct, I think, of living and stifled expression, I guess. My about 4 years ago, well, let's go back. About 9 years ago, my grandmother died. You know,
Okay.
One of the closest people in my life, and highly influential in my creative niche, my small areas where I like to just make up stuff. So, she passed away, and then I was going through a very hard time in my life, and I know people go through these changes, and sometimes you feel like you don't have a forum to really be free and express everything that's inside without people giving their opinions, instead of really hearing you. And so I was looking for a way to express myself mostly, and when my grandmother passed away, she left a box of paint. And I was sitting in the basement, and I found a cardboard box, and I needed to get something out. So I started just dabbling with it, and in that moment, I felt more connected to her, and it was one of the few things in life that I'm able to focus in on. I'm a Gemini, I'm crazy, I'm everywhere. And when I sit down and paint, it's really a focused process. So, it kind of manifested into what it is today. So I run a paint business, Colorful Mess Studios, and we do the paint parties. I do mostly exclusive paint parties. Sporadically I have public events, but I do mostly the private parties. And then I work with Cleveland Public Library System, so I go to the libraries after school and work with the kids and teach them how to paint, teach them art. I'm also at Anton Gardenia, so I'm working with children who really are absorbing.
Yeah.
When you growing up in a food desert, a place where economics really isn't the first thing on the list of things to do, to be taught. Freedom is not something that's really there, and I found that art allows them to have a voice that isn't ordinarily heard, and that's the same thing it did for me. So,
gotcha.
I'm long-winded.
No, that's good. Hey, this your interview, girl. You talk so much as you want to. So, walk me through this piece right here that's on the wall.
Well, okay, so this is a part of a series, and
Okay.
if you pan right, you'll see a smaller piece over there with the same girl standing at a bookcase.
Okay.
Everybody always asks me who this girl is at this bookcase. This young lady here. So I guess I can, give a little exclusive sneak peek. But this piece, the black and white piece, is called Black Girl at the Chalkboard. And this is me. It's become a series. She's been at the counter. She's been at the bookcase. She's been at the chalkboard. And what you'll see is just a bunch of random thoughts that go through my mind. We have a lot of problems in this world. Oh, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. And we don't have as many solutions. And I think I have to correct myself. We have solutions, but they aren't implemented. So I was just sitting there one night and just started writing everything that was in my brain.
Gotcha.
Everything that came out, it became a piece of art. It became a form of expression. So this is just kind of my journey, this young girl here.
I love it.
'Cause that's how I always felt.
Yeah. So in terms of everything else that you got on here, these just thoughts and statements?
Thoughts, quotes that really touch me.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm really influenced by people like Nina Simone and,
Okay.
you know, Gordon Parks,
Yeah.
Nikki Giovanni. My grandmother was so influential in kind of doing it for the culture and
Okay.
allowing me to absorb expression, you know, from Maya Angelou's and, you know, all of these different people that she, and I can't, it's hard to think when you're on camera, so I can't really go through the list of things, but just, I don't know, art has made me less complacent, I guess. I watch a lot of political television. I pay attention to, you know, the policies and things that they're trying to get over in this government, and it's just like, when you are complacent, when you ignore, you create that much more space for people to infract on your own personal freedoms and beings. And as I started my journey, and you know, you got to research when you create a piece of artwork.
Gotcha.
You don't want to just throw random facts out here.
Okay.
Or alternative facts. So
yeah,
it touches me in a way, like to have to go through a list of all of the black and brown people slain in just 2017. It shattered me, but enraged me in a way where I cannot be silent anymore, you know. So
yeah,
I just paint.
you do your part with paint. That's what's
I
up.
just try to express it through paint.
Yeah.
I don't want to get to
No, it's good. Like, look, September, this your interview, man. This the Manny Hall show you on. This ain't.
It's the Manny Hall show. I know. I
Look.
watch you. I tune in.
That's what I'm saying,
like,
homie.
So, I'm impressed. I'm like, yes, black excellence.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
so I
yes.
want you to be on here expressing yourself.
Yeah, I got some
All of
artwork
that,
hanging
you know?
at Mount Zion.
Okay.
If you guys want to go to the church and check it out over by Wade Park. I think it's the VA Medical Center. I'll be doing some events this summer that I'm excited about, so stay tuned. I'll post them. You can follow me on Instagram. Ooh, this is good. I should do this. You can follow me on Instagram at TEMBER611 or request me on Facebook at September S. Shy. I'm not all fancy schmancy, so I don't have Snapchat and all that other extra stuff. But you can find me there, or my website is www.colorfulmessstudios.com. So you can check there, and you'll find public events and pieces you can purchase. You can pre-order prints or, you know, merchandise if you want to transfer the images to tote bags and things like that. You can find stuff there. So
That's what's up.
yeah, plug.
Well, September, you definitely switch things up on the Manny Hall show, because normally I do all the Instagram, Facebook stuff and website at the end.
Oh, sorry.
But you did at the beginning, so it's cool. I'm just gonna have to post it right there
I'm
at the
sorry.
beginning. So y'all better write it down quick. But anyway, so you talk about your grandma and how she had this paint laying around. Was there anything else like of significance that was left for you from grandma that you kind of held on to as well?
Well, I've lost both my grandmothers at this point.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
yes, I grew up in a room full of vinyl, full of records, from everybody from Bach to James Brown. Like so, that's been left to me. I try to just, I don't like take things, I guess. it's a way of kind of immortalizing people to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of my grandmothers were creative, so it's become a big part of my life to create.
Yeah.
My mother's mother was a teacher at the music settlement for a
Okay.
long time, and she loved the kids. So I've taken that and tried to implement it into my life. Like I think that's how I've been dealing with grief, you know, and that's what I have to say for a lot of people who've lost someone. You haven't lost them. It's more of the physical sense, but
Yeah.
you've inherited who they are, and they can live through you, especially if you do things to commemorate them in a way where it implements into your everyday life.
Yeah.
It gives you reasons to smile instead of reasons to cry. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I've tried to take from here and apply, and this is what's manifesting itself. I got
That's
featured on the
awesome.
Shade Room twice. I was like, whoa, that's
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's
woo.
dope. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, did your mom or dad have any creative juices flowing in them as well that you got from them?
I'm sorry. People ask me about my mother. Listen, they are creative human beings. They are witty, and they have been married for 32 years. And yes, that's all I'm gonna say. They've added a lot of flavor
Okay.
to who you see standing in front of you today. Is oh Lord, yeah.
Okay.
I watched two old people bicker in a house about the lights being cut off. So my mother decides to go get a little keychain flashlight and look for my father in the house throughout the day. So it's a lot of petty stuff, but they are creative and wonderful people.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
we all grew up together.
That's what's up. And every parent-child relationship is totally different and unique in its own sense.
It is, and after I hit 30, and then I'm like 31, then I'm like 32, I started to develop this rapport with them that just makes my heart so full. My past to present has been such a journey, especially with the relationship with my parents, and I just feel like they accept me and they nurture me, and I can be the most disheveled human being, but they are still there. So
That's what's up.
I'm grateful.
Shout out to the parents.
Shout out to mama and daddy. Yes.
All right, so when you're not painting and having these different shows and being featured and classes and all that, like, what else do you really love?
Singing jazz in the shower.
Okay.
I'm always painting, but I do love to sing jazz. Like, I'll randomly pick up the mic if I'm out, but
So you like that karaoke star?
no, not even karaoke star. Like, I like to go to Nighttown. It's a nice little chill spot.
Uh-huh.
And usually after they have their featured artist, there's still a pianist in the dining room, and I've become a little familiar with them. So I'll do a song or two randomly. It's nothing regular or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll sing in the shower. But that brings me joy.
Okay.
But my life is engulfed in art for real. So it's not really a time that I'm not painting or doing something that's leading me to painting or trying to put something in order that's art related. Like I'm on my Kanye. I'm not coming out this room.
I feel that.
It's a small room, but this is where I will be all summer 2018. Like I can't. This is what I'm doing.
Getting it in.
Yeah.
All right, so like walk me through the process of you developing a piece.
Oh, well, it varies.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a dream, straightforward. I get to the canvas and boom, just put it down. Other times, because I do a lot of Pollock art, I do a lot of splatter work. That's really my passion.
Okay, and explain that for me and the rest of the other 1,000 people that don't know what that is.
All right. I'm sorry. Let me get down. I actually have an example. But this is kind of Jackson Pollock, well-known splatter artist. But this is kind of something that I absolutely love to do.
Gotcha.
And it looks like just a bunch of random paint thrown. But the reason I love it is I've always been attracted to things that are like controlled chaos, you know. And if you know anything about splatter patterns and techniques, it's a very controlled process. So it sometimes I'll just go for it, and then like with music playing in the background, it gives you a vibration.
Gotcha.
Sound has vibration in relation to color, so I just go with what flows out of me and allow it to create itself. And then that's, I think, the beauty too. You know, sometimes you don't know what's gonna go on this white canvas, and then when you watch it make itself and realize that came out of you, it's so gratifying. Yeah.
That's what's up. Now, one of my other favorite artists, painters, creators, named Jay Capo. Are you hip to him? He's in Cleveland. He has a studio downtown. And
I might have seen some of his work.
Yeah, it's around different places.
I love people like Painting. She's awesome. Paintings by Peta, Sammy. I got a couple of good people. Dakari. It's just some really good people out here in Cleveland that are doing their thing, and it's just like I can't do anything but be grateful to be a part of that, you know, in whatever way. Like,
it's a nice little creative movement in Cleveland, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like for the people that really are into it, like you feel their sincereness. You know what I'm saying? For the people that just like trying to have a painting set, be like, okay, you're just trying to have a painting set. But you're not really about this life, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not about this life. And I respect you jumping on the wagon and giving it a shot, you know, do that, because I think art is for everybody. So I'm not the one to say, oh, they won't get anything from it. You might take something from it you didn't expect.
Exactly.
But this is what I eat, live, and breathe every day. I wake up scared that my business may fail, so I work extra hard.
Gotcha.
I went to sleep at 5 this morning just from working all night. So I'm like, hey, I'm in it, and it better work, you know.
I feel it.
That's how I feel.
So the reason I brought up my dude Jay, when I did an interview with him, he kind of walked me through his process, and I said, well, how do you know when it's done? And he said, man, every artist just has that feeling, like, you know, this is it. Like, I need to stop. I don't need to put anything else on there. This is it. And I said, but what if you also have this other feeling, like, oh, I want to add more? He was like, I have to stop. Because it's like that instinct says, that's it.
Yeah, it's a battle, seriously, with yourself.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna say this, and he has a point. Like, I've learned to just say, I'm done. And because art is so true to life, like, you gotta know when to say, I put enough work into this. Yeah. It's gonna be what it is. I'm done. Yeah. And so he's right, you know, like, I've had to make choices to choose this or that. And I always come back to this because I'm not done. Yeah. Like, you know, I need it. Yeah. That's the process though. Like, I literally have argued with myself in front of a canvas. Wow. Like, should I? But you walk away when you're ready.
That makes sense. Yeah. So then you spoke about music, getting these different sounds, and that's kind of helping to be instrumental with your process as well, right? So is there a certain kind of music genre that you choose each time, or you just kind of go with your gut?
Well, because my everybody is a musical genius, right? And I'm not saying that, but because my palette is, and the spectrum of music I listen to is from classical to, you know, the raunchiest of hip hop. You know, right. I listen from Bach to the Migos. So
gotcha. Okay.
I think it's just based on how I feel that day. But mostly I do go towards kind of like I guess they calling it not neo soul, but like alternate soul now. Okay. So you got groups like the Internet and people like Xavier Omar Anderson .Paak. They produce, like, I listen to a lot of Anderson .Paak now.
Okay.
I love him. But then I go to Miles Davis and I listen to a lot of Al Green and, you know, Curtis Mayfield and
Yeah.
Talib. So it's everywhere for me, but it's just about how I feel that day and what's going to
And I guess like, you know, speaking of that, on the creative side, everybody has their own process, because it's like, for me, I always kind of like have fun with it, because when I'm on my way to an interview, I'm pumped and charged. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
what do you listen to in the car?
well, listen. So I'm thinking in my head during this time, like, okay, well, what am I feeling right now? Like, who is really gonna give me that right vibe? Because sometimes when I'm on my way, if I pick the wrong music, and it's like a minute or two before I'm about to walk in, I feel like that's crunch time. It has to be something that's gonna give me like that juice. You know what I'm saying? So today I was listening to Kanye and Jay-Z, Watch the Throne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so normally, like, I'll be like on 2 Chainz. That's what I'm just currently vibed out to. And he got this new little EP with 4 cuts on it, straight ratchet. But I love it. You know what I'm saying? Then other times I will have some gospel music playing. Other times I might have some classical. So that's why I feel you know what I'm saying? Like, it can be totally different depending on that mood.
Yeah, it really depends. I mean, I think a lot of us are pretty diverse when it comes to music.
What you think about that Migos album? So since we was already talking about it, yeah. What you think? I like
Listen, I got some of my ratchet out on a few songs. Some of the songs, so I listen to lyrics, and I gotta disagree with you, Migos. If they do happen to come across this video, I have to say this: don't put no hot sauce on. Don't do it. Don't. I mean, he was hot dogs on a. Like, come on, man.
Hey,
like, we not playing
but
with
September, they be illin' though. I promise you, man. Like,
listen.
did you see that one little video / kind of movie they created where they was doing kung fu?
Listen, I'm not fooling with you people. Okay, I love my people.
Right.
I root for all black people this year, but sometimes I just got to just do like this and let you do your thing over here. But you go, you do that, you do your kung fu.
Yeah.
Listen, the only person I might respect doing kung fu is RZA. I'm old school.
Right.
So yeah, he could give me the soundtrack to his
man, Migos, they
Man
both
with
got
the
the
Iron
kung fu.
Fist, man.
They knocked dude out.
Hey, flipping people up.
Right, I'm like,
good.
but you know what it made me think about though, all jokes aside, is that for all of us, like, we might have this talent and we know we gifted in this particular thing, but we always had this secret desire. So I'm thinking, like, 1, they wanted to be in a movie, 2, they wanted to do kung fu. And now they got their platform and the money to do it. It's like,
You
hey,
might as well do it.
we about to hit it in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if I had that platform, what would my hidden desire would be? Moving to the middle of the woods and building a small little community of little houses just for myself.
Okay. Just by yourself?
And living off grid. I mean, myself, my family. I want 2 goats.
Okay.
I want to farm. I want to make my own.
Why is
grow
that?
my own food. I believe in self-sustainability.
Okay.
And my ultimate pursuit is freedom, right? So I can't say that I want to be free, but still be dependent on a system to feed me. So I'm just like.
So you want to grow your own stuff?
I want to cultivate my own food. I want to grow my own vegetables and then make the land work.
Are you gonna eat the goat?
No.
They just gonna be part of it.
They're part of the system.
No, do you eat meat?
I eat meat. I'm kind of listen. I eat yard bird and fish, yard bird chicken. I eat chicken, fish, and turkey. I have a vengeance against turkeys because I was attacked by a pack of wild turkeys. So I will eat them. Yes.
When?
I lived in Iowa.
Okay.
Went to school in Iowa, and don't ask me how I got out there. My aunt was out there. Rest her soul.
All right.
But she was out there doing her thing and afforded me some privileges.
Okay.
So I'm on my way to school and I get out my truck. It's this bird in the middle. I'm beeping at it.
Now, what's this like, college or high school?
College, listen.
Okay.
I'm beeping at it. It won't move. I'm like, okay, I'm a city girl. I'm on the back road. I'm like, all right, let me put my brights on and get out and shoot. I'm thinking I could shoot a bird. I go to shoot a bird. He jump back. And I'm like, okay, so you feisty out here in these streets. So I'm like, shoo, and I'm paying attention to him. 3-4 of the birds come back from around my car.
Okay.
And then I realized, like, it's like a gang of turkeys out here, and they are not nice birds for real. Like,
Wow.
I have no problem with throwing one in the roaster and roasting it till the legs fall off, because that's scary. I had to jump back in my car. They was pecking at me.
Wow.
Like, pecking at me to get back in my
How
car.
many of them was it?
It was like 4-5 of them.
They tried to jump
No, it was
you.
like 4-5. No, seriously, it was like 4-5 of them turkeys. Like, and they big too. They're not big. They try to wing you. I'm done. But yeah, we got on turkeys. I don't know how we got there. How did we get there?
Yeah, because you had told me that.
I want goats, and
Yeah, the goats,
so I want
yeah.
2 goats. They will eat the grass. They will add to compost. They
Okay.
will help. Everything that I have on my farm will work within itself.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I do want to farm some fish.
So living off the grid.
Yeah, I'm gonna live off the grid and solar panels and all that goodness. And
I love solar panels, man.
yeah, I want to be sufficient. Have my rain
Yeah.
catches, and
I was so into that. Like, it's probably like close to 10 years ago now. One of my friends was like really going harder with the solar panels, and we was about to create this company, and they had the some kind of mechanism where you can make the hardwood floors hot, but it was like using just energy to do it. You know what I'm saying? It was like
you
so
heat
dope.
through the lighting and
Yeah,
the floors
like
warm up.
yeah, and like using the sun, but even during the times where the sun wasn't there, it's like you generate so much energy that it lasts throughout the winter too. It was just crazy, but
That's dope for real.
that's what I want to do, man.
And that's what I'm saying. Like to know where your food is coming from,
Yeah.
to know that you put your work into this your hands. You don't have to worry about all this other stuff that we are consuming.
Yeah.
And I'm not the most health conscious person. I smoke. I have my drinks.
I feel it.
But at the same token, I don't want to eat a rat and think that it's a chicken tender.
I feel it.
I
And,
just
and people don't know what they eating out here in
you,
September.
you really don't, for real. Like,
They really
you really
don't.
don't. And that's why I'm kind of skittish on eating too much stuff, for
Yeah.
real. Like, I eat the same thing.
Yeah, I feel it.
But I was just like, I can't do it. I do want to live off grid. That's my
feel
little
it.
fantasy, my
I
little
feel it.
goal.
All right, so I'm enjoying this conversation, but no, let's get back to art for a minute.
Okay.
So what encouragement can you give to like that young girl or young guy that's like getting it in at their house, either still living with their mom and dad, or they by themselves and they creating these pieces, but they're not getting that much exposure, so they really thinking about stopping because it just doesn't seem worth it. Talk
The
to
thing
them.
that we have a problem with as artists, and I go through it, is you have this creator, but then you have a business. And it takes more discipline to run a business than it does to create, which seems crazy. But what I would say is, don't stop creating, but as passionate as you were in refining your art and your talent, you got to evolve in business too. So you need to utilize your social media tools. You need to get your books in order. Like not only from where I come from, but just as an individual, finances wasn't taught.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship was not taught.
Right.
It was get a job. It was fall into line in society, fit into this box, and make sure you got some security.
Gotcha.
But in finding that artificial security, we get stifled. So all I would say to an artist is don't quit. Now, make sure you refine your techniques. Keep growing.
Yeah.
But don't quit. Learn the business aspect. Learn how to be an entrepreneur. And then you get that, like, exposure ain't everything for real. It's you know, I know plenty of people with millions of followers, but they still living with their mama.
Yeah. That's real.
So this exposure, you got to know how to take that exposure and make monetize it. You have to learn. You have to learn how to transfer it over.
Talk to him, September. Talk to him.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to learn them, like, because it's something that I wish people would have had the patience to teach me.
Gotcha.
Before I was 28, 29, and 30, and you know, you gotta still hit hiccups and.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really just, don't think I got it all together. I don't. I am learning, and I am falling all over myself, and I am struggling paying my bills, but I'm free, and I'm making it work. And I have a small space, which I didn't have before, which is mine. And I'm able to create.
Yeah.
And it's like I have to learn that economics and entrepreneurship is so important in creating generational wealth. That's ultimately what I want. Like, I don't have children, but for my niece and nephew and the children that are around me, like, that is what I want for them, is to understand that you can be self-sustaining and sufficient in this world and live comfortably. Like that, I want to be an example. So that's what I would have to say to any artist. Don't stop creating. Refine your techniques, but learn how to be an entrepreneur too. You know, both sides are important, for real.
So here's a question that I've always wanted to know, like from an artist standpoint, in your lane.
I'm about to take these shoes off.
Take them off. Take them shoes off.
I'm trying to stand here.
Because they think you tall, but they about to see that you ain't real tall.
I'm not tall. And for real, I don't even work in shoes. And I got some house shoes on standby. Don't just...
Get your house shoes on.
At least my feet.
We not looking at your feet. Get your house shoes on.
You
Be
can look
comfortable.
at my feet. I ain't mad at my feet. It's wintertime and they still soft. No.
Live your life. Live your life.
Trying to live my best life.
Right. All right, so for real though,
sorry.
how do you speak to somebody that's just getting started in your lane, and they're making these pieces? They've been making them for a while, maybe. But since everybody's perspective is different, like how do you know when you dope and you trash?
Don't know.
Like how do you know?
Listen, you don't know. That's not the point.
Okay.
Like that is definitely not.
So
the
it don't
point.
even matter then.
No, yeah, it don't matter for real, because every time I put my paintbrush to a canvas, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if this is gonna be good.
Yeah,
I done messed it up in some way. I don't want to do it. But then what you gotta do is realize you are not painting for people.
Gotcha.
You are not being an artist for people. You are not being yourself for people to receive you. You being yourself for selfish ass, gratification.
Yeah, that's real.
I mean, we have to learn in some areas that I got to love me before I love you. And then for me, art transfers in that way in life. I don't know if I'm dope. When people be like, oh man, that's so dope, I can't believe you did that. I'll be like, man, I can't believe I did it either.
Gotcha.
Because for real, it manifests itself. So that's never the motivation.
All right, so look though. So
that's never the motivation.
So really, like from the statement that you just made, like is sometimes you're like, wow, I didn't know that was dope. Like I'm just as surprised. So then in a sense, your creativity can become so phenomenal just by itself. Not talking about your skill or what you produce, but just the creativity by itself can become so phenomenal that you are almost having like an out-of-body experience every time, because you like, I don't know what that was.
Yes, you panned in on this little piece over here. Let me tell you about this piece for real. This was the first piece that I had an out-of-body experience for real creating. Because of the titles of the books, because of the research that I really had to do, I realized how complacent I was and what goes on with people who look like me. What goes on in this society with people who look like me, the stereotypes and how they're lived out, the privileges, that are given to others and not everyone. Like I really cried for like 30 minutes. And I had to stop myself, like, what's going on? Because this is not something that I do when I create. And I realized that silence is, listen, Cory Booker said it the best. When you take ignorance and bigotry and silence and align it with power, it's a dangerous thing that will manifest. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said it, and it hit me so deeply, because man, it's just like watching a kid getting jumped and you know you can do something to stop it. But you just gonna stand there and let him get jumped, and then he ends up being hurt in a way that you can't fix it.
I feel it.
Like complacency and that, just when you, man, people get so wrapped up in these material things and these shoes and these clothes and these cars. And I know we need money as a tool to live. We need, money to pay for a roof over our heads and things like that. But for real, most of them people are empty inside. It adds no substance. So it is an out-of-body experience when I see something manifest itself from within me that I didn't pay for, that I didn't have to go to a flashy ass store to get.
Yeah.
Like it's something, and it's just like, man, that's what creation does for me. It puts things in perspective. Them same flashy pieces of material that y'all going to buy, some little kid that's making 10 cents an hour to sew it, that sat there and thought that he'd have made the world for putting together a garment that you about to pay thousands for. Like, I'm sorry, that's just for me. I realize the process of how we live, and it's just like, wow, I can't believe I was so selfish. So I started giving back. I have to give of myself. And when you do that, the bounty is great, for real.
I love it.
So, yeah, you reach that bounty, that fulfillment that you really want. Like, money can't get that to you. It's really that inside part that you need to deposit things in, and that's what getting past the material things have done for me. You know, it's life. Out of body experience. Yeah, hell yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's what's up. September, any last words for the people?
Go forth, be free, and create. I'm rooting for all black people 2018, trying to glow up like Cardi, a little bit ratchet, a little bit conscious. Follow me on Instagram. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
End of the show. Follow me on Instagram at TEMBER611 and or check out my site www.colorfulmessstudios.com and or check me out on Facebook at September Shy. Thank you, Manny.
You're welcome. I had a great time.
Thank you, me too.
Manny Hush Show, we out.
We out.